What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully having a great day. In today's episode of Learning Roblox Studio, we are going to be going over proximity prompts. As always, if you guys do enjoy the video or it does help you guys out, make sure you smash the like button, also hit the subscribe button, and turn those post notifications on if you want to get notified when I upload more of Roblox development content. Additionally, I do have Patreon. If you guys like to support me and gain access to a lot of the scripts and games that I've made in my other videos, there's a link down below in the description. You guys go check that out. With that being said, let's get into it. So, proximity prompts. In the interactive buttons course, which was the last episode, you learned how to create on-screen buttons for menus, interface actions, and more. Interactivity can also be handled through prompts that appear when a player approaches in-game objects like doors, switches, or even non-player characters. We can also take a look at the video right here, and we can see as they approach the door, the proximity prompts do pop up, and you can see a couple of different things. If we look at the prompt right here, we can see one, it has a label, and that label says lantern. Then it has another label underneath it which says turn off, and then to the left of it, we can see the key or the button that you need to press or use to actually activate that proximity prompt. Additionally, while this player is opening the door, we can see that they actually have to hold the key down. So those are a couple of different elements or aspects that come with proximity prompts. Starter project. The remainder of this course uses the Dungeon Delve project as a showcase. To follow along, open it up in Studio before proceeding. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with how you can edit a game, of course, the link to this course is going to be down below in the description. You guys are going to have to go to that page, then go to the starter project, click on the project right there, or you could probably search up Dungeon Delve Learn on Roblox. You might be able to find it this way. You're going to want to click on the three dots right next to the game name, and then we're going to want to click on edit. Now, once you click on edit, it should open it up in Roblox Studio for you. And here we go. We now have the game downloaded, and now it's in our Roblox Studio. So, creating a prompt. On-screen prompts are generated by a proximity prompt object parented to an attachment, base part, or model. Select the prison door model in the 3D view or from the Explorer. So, let's go ahead. We can click it right here. Or if we're having issues clicking it for some reason, we could search for prison door and find it this way. Or we could go to workspace, then we can go to the prompt objects if we kind of know all this already, and then we can go ahead and click on prison door. Any of those ways work. Then we want to expand it, and we want to find the door object. Placing a prompt on an attachment gives you more control on where the point of interaction occurs, versus placing it directly on the part/model. Insert a new attachment and rename it to prompt attachment. So we're going to click the plus icon, add an attachment, and we're going to rename that to prompt attachment. Then we want to locate the position property, and we want to set it to -2.25, comma, -0.5, comma, -0.5. And then we hit enter, and we can now see, let's undo this real quick. So we can see when we first added the attachment, it's pretty much like in the center of the door. And then when we change the properties, we place it right around where the handle is, or sort of where a key looks like it would go on the door. Hover over the prompt attachment, and then we want to insert a new proximity prompt. Prompt appearance. Prompts consist of 3 primary elements, each of which can be controlled by the following properties. So on the left, we can see where the E key is at, and that's actually the keyboard key code or the gamepad/gamepad key code element. And then we can also see the 2 on the right. So at the top, that's the object text, and below that is the action text, which is a little bit larger than the object text above it. So the object text is an optional name for the object being interacted with. The action text is an optional action name shown to the player. The keyboard key code is the keyboard key which will trigger the prompt, and the gamepad key code is the gamepad button which will trigger the prompt. To customize the experience of the prison door prompt, make the following changes. In the properties of the prompt, we're going to locate the object text, and we can see that right here. And we're going to change this to door because that is the object that we're going to be interacting with this prompt. And then we want to also modify the action text to pick lock, because we have a locked door right here, and this prompt is going to be used to open the door for the player. So that's why the action is going to be pick lock, because it fits the theme of the game. Activation distance. Prompts appear when a player's character moves within a defined max activation distance range of the prompt's object's parent. We can search up activation inside of the proximity prompts properties, and we can see the max activation distance. We can also see in the image right there, it's a way to show how far the player is away from the prompt versus how far the prompt will actually be displayed. So if the player was outside of that yellow circle, the prompt will not be displayed to the player, but obviously since the player is within range, it is displayed to the player. The default value works well in most cases, but you can push player interaction closer to the lock by changing the max activation distance to 4. So we're going to change it from 10 to 4. Hold duration. The hold duration property value determines how quickly the prompt's activation is triggered in seconds. Since this door must be picked to unlock it, change the hold duration property to 4. So we can search up hold duration, and rather than waiting 0 seconds, meaning that this prompt would go through instantly, we want the player player to wait 4 seconds in a way to make them sort of perform the action of lock picking. Responding to player input. The best way to detect the prompt events is through the proximity prompt service. This lets you detect events essentially without attaching a script to each prompt object. A basic framework is as follows. So this right here is an example of a script, and we can see at the top they have the proximity prompt service, which gets the service, and then we see they have a couple of different functions. So the first function is on prompt triggered, and that passes through the prompt object and the player. They also have another function on prompt hold began and on prompt hold ended, which all share the same arguments. And at the very bottom of the script, they connect the prompt events to the handling functions. So when a prompt is triggered, they connect that to the triggered function. When the button hold began, they connect that to the hold began function. And then when the button hold ended, they connect that to the hold ended function. And then the description, it's pretty self-explanatory, but the description of each of these events are: prompt triggered fires when a player interacts with a prompt after the duration for a prompt with non-zero hold duration. Prompt button hold began fires when a player begins interacting with a prompt of non-zero hold duration. And then prompt button hold ended fires when a player stops interacting with a prompt of non-zero hold duration. In Dungeon Delve project, these events are managed by the prop event script within the server script service. So let's go ahead and go inside of the server script service, open up prompt events, and we can see that right inside of here. Inside the script, the events above simply call functions within the object actions module script, also located inside of server script service. We can see that module script here as well, which handles most of the actual functions that we're going to be calling in the prompt events. As you can see, proximity prompts are a convenient and customizable solution for in-game object interaction. Check out the proximity prompt and proximity prompt service reference pages for even more ways to control prompt behavior and explore other interactive objects in Dungeon Delve for creation inspiration. So we can go ahead and start up our game real quick just to even make sure that the prompt that we created ourselves works. Let's go over to the door, and we can see we have to get pretty close for the prompt to actually appear. Then we can see E, which is the key that we need to press. We can see door, which is one of the text labels, and we can also see pick lock, which is another label as well. So then we click E, and we can see that it actually sort of starts to charge up in a way, and that is holding it down. And then once it finishes, the door opens up, and then we have another prompt right here, which has been created by Roblox. That wasn't created by us. And that's exactly how the proximity prompt works. With that being said, though, that's going to be it for this episode. As always, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button and also hit the subscribe button and turn those post notifications on if you want to get notified and want to upload more Roblox development content. Additionally, I do have a Patreon. If you guys like to support me and gain access to a lot of the scripts and games that I make in my other videos, there's a link down below in the description. You guys can go check it out. With that being said, I hope that you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.